Greetings and welcome to Pinball Stories. Mike here with PinballHelp.com. And today I'm going to talk about an interesting kind of scenario that sometimes happens to those of us that are in the hobby of picking up a project machine that is much more than you probably necessarily want to handle, or is it? Sometimes a little bit of patience, everything seems to kind of pan out. Now, what you're looking at here is a pinball machine that this story is about. Some of you may recognize it. You may not be able to recognize it because it's kind of obliterated beyond recognition to some degree. But what we're talking about here is a Stern Meteor. There is the side of the cabinet, right? And you can see this game has really seen better days. Hey dogs, quiet. So this this game has seen better days. I mean, it's in bad shape. Look at it. It's worn down to the wood. Now, normally I wouldn't pick up a game like this. Uh, I mean, it's I don't know if I can't remember because it's been sitting for a while, and I'll tell you why it's been sitting for a while. But I picked this game up and I got it really, really, really cheap. Now, why would I buy such a roached game? Because I don't really have a lot of time to do major projects. But the reason why I got it was because look at the back glass. The back glass is perfect. It's beautiful. It's really nice. It's kind of weird that there's such a great back glass on such a horrible game. Just completely roached out, worn down to the wood. This is one of those scenarios where they probably never replaced the damn balls in the game, and it just was like sandpaper. And so this is what's happened. So this game didn't start and was basically just kind of, one notch away from being thrown out in the trash. I had an opportunity to pick it up. I grabbed it. I actually like this game. I love the sound effects in it. I thought, well, you know what? I can probably salvage some stuff from this game, even if it's too far gone, right? Um, so there's a bunch of stuff missing in the game here and there, but it is mostly complete. Like a lot of these early Stern solid states, the power supplies were all buggered up and everything like that. But there's a few good pieces and parts, right? So I had this game, and then shortly after I had this game, it might have been within a year or so, it wasn't super right away, but knowing I had this, you get on the lookout. You pick up a certain game, you look for the manuals, you look for parts, you look for extra little things. Whenever, especially if you're dealing with some game that's some architecture that you haven't fiddled around with before. So I've got little notes here about what needs to be done, problems with the flippers, resistor on the power supply, and little notes like that. And meanwhile, while I'm waiting, another Meteor pops up on Craigslist. This one is also really cheap. And the reason why it's really cheap is because it doesn't have a back glass. This is the other Meteor right next to it. So I actually have two Meteors. And I picked them both up at separate times from separate people. So let's see what's in the back box here. You can see it's pretty clean. Nice clean game. Original Stern MPU on it and everything. Looking pretty good, but the guy broke the back glass. However, oops, wrong way. Take a look at the playfield. Look at that. Is that like a blessing? Can you I've seen some nice Meteors, but I don't know if I've seen one where the playfield was this nice. There's just a tiny, tiny little bit of wear, but otherwise it's super duper clean. And I've started to kind of work on this game, but it's still pretty much the way I picked it up. So I had this other game that was really roached out. I was patient and kind of just started looking around, and lo and behold, I come across a game that has the missing parts. So they're both basically complete, but you see one, the playfield is completely, it's turted out. And then this one, it's beautiful. Sometimes things just come together. Is that cool? And the cabinet is really nice too. This one you can see the cabinet's not all in that great a shape. And this one, nice and clean and everything. You look at even the coin door on this looks nice and clean. Look at that. That's pretty neat. So now with these two games, I will be able to make one really nice game. And what I may end up doing is taking the other game, since it is complete, and retheming it. because I don't have a back glass and the playfield is roached. But this could be a fun game to try to retheme or reprogram or do something with. But I will obviously take the really nice back glass, and that's going to go over here on this one, and I'll make one really nice meteor. And this is another common thing that a lot of people do. They'll pick up some games and they'll they'll take two, maybe even three versions of a game and take the best parts off each one and make one really good game that is in as good a condition as possible, which is what I will probably do here. I won't really have to fiddle around with a whole lot in this case. I'll obviously be replacing some of the drop targets, but after this is cleaned up and chopped out, this should play quite well. And then this one over here, I'll get it as working. I'll get it working and all that, and then I'll decide, whether I retheme it or flip it to another collector that might want to do some more work on it or something like that. But that's an interesting thing. It's the same game times two, and sometimes if you're just patient, things show up. It was really crazy that a roached out playfield with a perfect back glass shows up in the same, not too long after a perfect playfield with a missing back glass. So between these two, I will be able to create one really nice meteor, and I'm really looking forward to playing this. I love the sound, how it kind of gets higher pitched as you're playing. This is a really fun. This is the era to me when the Sterns really were fun to play, and it's going to be a great game to restore. So hopefully I will be showing you some play videos of it soon. So there you have it. Another pinball story about two for the price of one. Actually, these both were super cheap because they both were in pieces, but I'm going to be able to make two really good games out of them. One's going to be a great condition original, and the other will be something else, something different, something new. We'll figure it out. So stay tuned for more. And thanks for watching. And be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel, YouTube/PinballHelp. If you want to find out more about other projects I'm in, go to YouTube/PinChurch, PinChurch. That's the project where we've got the arcade that we're doing live music and stuff. And there's some really cool videos there too. If you haven't seen it, check it out. And until next time, thanks for watching.